Dolly Parton has always been the queen of country music, a legend with a dazzling smile and a heart as big as her voice. But behind the rhinestones and bright lights, there was one man who stood by her side for nearly 6 decades, Carl Dean. The world saw Dolly, but Carl? He stayed in the shadows, a quiet yet unwavering presence in her life. And now, the unthinkable has happened. Carl Dean, the love of Dolly Parton's life, has passed away at the age of 82. A man who avoided the spotlight but was the center of Dolly's world is gone, leaving fans heartbroken and wondering, how will Dolly move forward without the man who meant everything to her? Dolly Parton and Carl Dean shared a love story that defied the norms of fame and celebrity. While Dolly became a global icon, Carl remained a mystery, her silent, steadfast partner who shunned the spotlight. For over 57 years, their marriage was a rare Hollywood anomaly. No scandals, no public drama, just a quiet, enduring love that stood the test of time. Now, with the heartbreaking news of Carl Dean's passing at the age of 82, fans are left with questions. How did a man who was almost never seen in public become the most important person in Dolly's life? What was the secret to their unbreakable bond? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how will Dolly cope with such a devastating loss? This isn't just the story of a country music legend losing her husband. It's a tale of loyalty, love, and the kind of deep connection that very few ever experience. As we dive into their journey, we uncover the remarkable truth about Carl Dean and the love story that remained hidden behind the glitz and glamour of Dolly Parton's fame. Long before Dolly Parton became a country music legend, before the rhinestone-studded outfits and sold-out stadiums, she was just a young girl with big dreams from the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. It was 1964, and at just 18 years old, she had moved to Nashville to chase a career in music. That's when fate stepped in. One day outside a local laundromat, Dolly met Carl Dean, a quiet, handsome young man with piercing blue eyes and a shy smile. He wasn't dazzled by her ambitions or the bright lights of Nashville. Instead, he was drawn to her for who she truly was. And for Dolly, Carl was unlike anyone she had ever met, genuine, grounded, and uninterested in fame. While Dolly's career skyrocketed, Carl chose to remain in the background. He never craved the cameras, never walked red carpets, and rarely gave interviews. He built a life away from the chaos of Hollywood, running a quiet asphalt paving business and enjoying a peaceful existence while his wife became one of the most recognizable voices in music history. For nearly 6 decades, their love thrived in 2 different worlds, one bathed in flashing lights, the other in quiet solitude. And now, with Carl's passing, the world wonders, how will Dolly, who always had Carl waiting for her in the shadows, move forward without him? For decades, Dolly Parton and Carl Dean's love story remained one of the greatest mysteries in entertainment. While the world saw Dolly as a larger-than-life superstar, Carl was the unseen force behind her, a man who stayed completely out of the limelight. He never attended her award shows, never walked beside her on red carpets, and was rarely even photographed. Some people even questioned if he was real, fueling wild rumors that he was a made-up figure. But Carl Dean was very real, and he was the one constant in Dolly's whirlwind life. Their relationship was built on something stronger than fame: trust, loyalty, and an unshakable bond. Even as Dolly toured the world and became a global icon, she always returned home to the quiet, reserved man who had captured her heart all those years ago. What made their love even more extraordinary was Carl's ability to support Dolly without ever stepping into her world. While other celebrity marriages crumbled under the pressures of fame, theirs remained untouched. He encouraged her career but wanted no part of it. He once famously told her, "I love you, but I don't want to be in the spotlight. That's your thing, not mine." Now, with Carl's passing, Dolly faces an unimaginable void. He was the man who grounded her, who made her laugh when the pressures of fame became too much, who built a private world just for the two of them, far from the flashing cameras. And yet, in his final years, there were whispers that Carl's health was failing, that he had withdrawn even further from the public eye, and that Dolly was quietly preparing for the day she'd have to say goodbye. But how does someone like Dolly Parton, a woman who has spent a lifetime bringing joy to millions, cope with losing the one person who meant everything to her? And more importantly, what were Carl's final days like? Did he leave behind a final message for the woman he loved? As the world mourns alongside her, one thing is certain: Carl Dean may have been a mystery to the public, but to Dolly Parton, he was the greatest love of her life. In the final days of Carl Dean's life, Dolly Parton was by his side, just as he had always been by hers. Though he had spent much of his life avoiding the public eye, his love for Dolly had never wavered. Now, in the quiet of their Tennessee home, far away from the noise of the world, she faced the heartbreaking reality of saying goodbye to the man who had been her anchor for nearly 6 decades. Reports suggest that Carl had been battling health issues for some time. In recent years, he had become even more reclusive, staying out of sight as his strength faded. Yet through it all, Dolly remained devoted, choosing to keep his condition private, just as he would have wanted. Even in his weakest moments, their love remained strong, a bond built not on public displays, but on quiet, unwavering commitment. And then the moment came. Carl Dean, the only man Dolly had ever truly loved, passed away at the age of 82. The world may not have known much about him, but to Dolly, his absence was immeasurable. Friends close to her revealed that she was devastated but determined to honor him in the way he would have wanted. Privately, with dignity, and without spectacle. But what were Carl's final words to Dolly? Did he leave behind a message, a letter, or perhaps a final expression of love? While the details remain private, one thing is certain: their love was never about grand gestures or public displays. It was about the quiet moments, the shared laughter, the inside jokes, the simple comfort of knowing they belonged to each other. Now, as Dolly steps into a world without Carl for the first time in nearly 60 years, fans wonder, how will she cope? Will she turn to music to heal, pouring her grief into the songs that have touched so many lives? Or will she retreat from the spotlight, taking time to grieve in the privacy she has always respected? One thing is clear: though Carl Dean may be gone, his love for Dolly Parton will never fade. In the wake of Carl Dean's passing, Dolly Parton now faces a world without the man who had been her rock for nearly 6 decades. Though the pain of losing him is immeasurable, one thing is certain: his love will always remain with her. Throughout her career, Dolly has been a symbol of strength, resilience, and unwavering faith. Now, as she navigates this new chapter of her life, fans wonder how she will channel her grief. Will she turn to music, using her songs to heal and honor Carl's memory? Or will she step away from the spotlight, cherishing the private moments they shared? Whatever path she chooses, one thing is undeniable: Dolly Parton's love story with Carl Dean was rare, beautiful, and built to last beyond a lifetime. Perhaps in the quiet of her Tennessee home, she still feels his presence, a gentle reminder that true love never truly dies. And as she continues to inspire millions, one question lingers: how will Dolly's next chapter unfold without the man who had always been her greatest love? If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more captivating stories. What are your thoughts on Dolly and Carl's incredible love story? Leave a comment below and share your favorite memory of Dolly Parton's music or legacy. And if you know someone who would appreciate this story, share it with them to keep Carl Dean's memory alive. Thanks for watching.